Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dead on Dave. And if you're a wrestling fan, if you're into this wonderful industry that we know and love, you're aware of the fact that Triple H is one of the greatest superstars in the history of the industry. And as time goes on, he is going to only gain more power. He's going to become a bigger legend as he continues to take over the business from his father-in-law, Vince McMahon. However, like many that came before him, Triple H is also involved and responsible for some of the absolute most atrocious wrestling segments in history. The cringiest, the worst, the ones that make you just want to quit watching. And there was one such way back in 2002. Triple H was really gaining his foothold as the guy in the industry, and he had to feud with a man named Kane. Really not a lot of reason for him to do so, but it went to a place that nobody would ever expect it to go. There's really not much more to say as far as an introduction goes, except for these final two words. Ladies and gentlemen, today we put on trial Katie Vick. Prepare yourselves.
Real talk, man. Yeah. It's pressure. So much pressure. Sometimes I'm like, I get it.
Why would I pass up on the weed? Problems in your life, they don't want you to succeed. Try to go to God, baby, he ain't feeling me. All this pain in my heart, I have a nigga on his knees. Lyrically, I am the flyest. How I'm supposed to act?
All rise. The Honorable Judge Dead on Dave presiding. Please be seated. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Crimes Against Wrestling. We've talked about a few things already in this show, but this is one of those that was on the bucket list, because today we get to bring into the courtroom just universally one of the most panned and hated and cringed at segments, programs, whatever you want to call it, in the history of professional wrestling. Of course, I am talking about Katie Vick. Now, for those of you who don't know, Katie Vick, the whole angle started because Kane was happy. Triple H was really entering the height of his heelness. Triple H is one of the greatest heels in the history of the industry. He really is. I know a lot of people don't want to admit that anymore because of, he's all the things that he's accused of, burying, nepotism, getting extra favor because of who he's married to and all of that. But none of that really matters in the context of good or bad. And the reality is, Triple H has produced a whole hell of a lot of good and quite a bit of bad. And this one that we are going to talk about today, we are bringing into the courtroom Katie Vick. In 2002, Triple H was running roughshod. Needed a new major opponent, somebody that could strike fear into Triple H. There wasn't a whole hell of a lot of reason for that person to be Kane at the time. I mean, yes, Kane has always had a lot of love with the fan base, but only to a certain extent. However, if you can't get him because of a person, you get him because of a storyline. So why not go with one of the most gut-wrenching things that you could possibly do? You see, for the first time in a long time, Kane was happy. Yes, jovial even. And that was why Triple H targeted him. He tried to expose Kane for everything in the book. The Katie Vick thing seemed rather harmless at first when they first started talking about it. Triple H just alluding to the fact that something happened between Kane and a woman back in the day. Then it turned out that it was Kane drunk driving and crashing a car and killing said victim, said Katie Vick. Then it goes even farther as Triple H questions just how involved Kane was with Katie Vick. Because according to his police report, there was Kane's semen found in Katie Vick. This is the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life. But this is a courtroom, damn it. This is a courtroom. Oh, boy. Kane's semen was found in Katie Vick, which led Triple H to question if Kane put the semen in her before or after death. And even if they would have left it there, the accusation alone would have been enough to kind of turn the storyline to a bad place. But yet, no. They don't stop there. What we then get in the following weeks, we get a vignette. Triple H having footage of something so vile, so disgusting, that shows Kane as to be the depraved human being that he said he was. And of course, the video was not Kane at all. It was Triple H in a Kane mask at a funeral where he would seduce, mount, and hump a mannequin corpse. A corpse mannequin? A mannequin playing a corpse. A corpse-like mannequin. Katie Vick's fake mannequin corpse in a fantastic cheerleader outfit. And the cringe doesn't stop until he actually goes and says he screwed Katie Vick's brains out, grabbing a pile of brain-like substance and squishing it in his hands. The scene would then cut back to Triple H, who was dying of laughter, which you can't really blame him. I think, talking about it in just those contexts, it's no wonder why everybody has so much hatred towards this segment. I completely understand. I am a judge after all. I get this. I understand why it would move people in the direction of the hatred that it rightly deserves. However, I also feel that this was a segment that was obviously tongue-in-cheek. This was a segment that was never meant to be taken seriously, if anything is ever in wrestling. This certainly wasn't. But it has taken on a life of its own over the years. And it leads me to wonder, to ask the question as what exactly brought all of this on. And the only answer to that I could possibly think of is the inclusion of a mask. I don't know if anybody could just think for a second of how intoxicating and powerful a mask from the devil himself must feel thrust upon you. I don't know what would ever happen if something like that would ever overtake my soul. And luckily, I don't think we'll ever have to find out because, you know, things like that just don't happen to me. Oh my God. The problem with you, Dead on Dave, is that you don't understand the power of this mask. You don't understand what it does to a soul. You could never fully grasp the depravity it takes to put on this mask. Now, if you'll excuse me, Dead on Dick, I'm gonna go have sex with Katie Vick. Oh, by the way, this mask also gives you super sweet rhyming skills. You see? Yep. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about right there. So it's hard for anybody to judge until you've had that power come over you. You see? I'm so sorry. It's plain and simple. At the end of the day, what Crimes Against Wrestling truly is a way of determining what is and what is rightfully good or bad. So very simply, is all of the hatred thrust upon Katie Vick and the subsequent vignettes, promos, and things that we would see in weeks, including Triple H going as far as interviewing that same mannequin just a week later. Yes, plain and simple. There's no reason to continue to draw this out. I think a verdict can easily be reached. Triple H and the Katie Vick promo is certainly guilty. And it is going to be sentenced to the back of our brains. Not a lot of people think about it all the time, and I think that is the best thing. Lock it up way back there. Don't let it out. Don't let it come to the forefront of your mind. Nobody should have to go through that. And whatever you do, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you never find a Kane mask. Never don a Kane mask. You never know what will happen to you. You never know what you'll be capable of. But here on Crimes Against Wrestling, we will hold you accountable. Thank you very much for joining us for another trial of the century. If you have anything that you would like to see tried, juried, and executed by the Honorable Judge Dave, make sure you hit me up in the comments section below or simply on Twitter at @DeadOnDaveV. Nothing could be as hard as that. That's the hard. Before you judge this video, you try talking about Katie Vick on camera. Don't you dare judge me. Thank you very much for joining us right here on Crimes Against Wrestling on Dead on Dave Productions. Like, subscribe, and share. And as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. Court's adjourned, folks. Go take a cigarette break, drink a coffee, or maybe go have sex with a mannequin. We'll see you next time. Peace.